Back Nation! What is good? It is your boy DJs would Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros, no Heat fans left in the chat. They gone. Oh, my lighting's crazy right now. Let me fix something real quick, man. Give me a second. Why is this so bright? What's going on here? There we go. That's better. The Philadelphia 76ers win Game 4 against the Miami Heat, 116-108. Hit the like button on the stream. That helps me out greatly. Hit the subscribe button if you're brand new. Join the Discord. I didn't even put the link in the damn chat. I'm so flustered right now. Let me go ahead and put the link in the Discord chat. Give me one more second here. It's a late game, you know what I mean? And I just ran up here real quick. I didn't really take much time to prepare. Join the Discord. Boom. Link in the chat. Pin message. We're in here. Look, man, it happened. It actually happened. Joel Embiid. The Philadelphia 76ers went down 0-2 to the Miami Heat. Joel Embiid broke his face against the Toronto Raptors. Game 6, the closeout game. The cheap elbow from Pascal Siakam. I don't give a damn what you say. It was cheap. We go down 0-2. We know we have no shot in this series without the big guy. We got no shot without the MVP, and damn it, he said, I'm playing in this series. I'm coming back with the mask on, Phantom of the Process, super mask with the cape, flying in to save the day, to save this team. That's a t-shirt that's coming out, by the way. Super mask. Be on the lookout for that on runitbackmerch.com. The game started. Joel Embiid was a different animal in this game. And I'm going to get to James Harden. Oh, don't you worry. But Joel Embiid was a different animal in this game. He came out here and he looked like he didn't have a mask on. Nobody's even talking about the injury, the torn ligament in his thumb anymore. He's just playing out of his mind with a torn ligament in his thumb and a freaking mask on. Do you know how uncomfortable that must be? He has to take the mask off to wipe his sweat, all this stuff, man. And he's still out there playing like the most valuable player in the game. And like I said last stream, why is Joel Embiid the most valuable player in the game? Because of his impact offensively and defensively. His impact on the game, offensively and defensively, are both elite. The Philadelphia 76ers, without even calculating this game, are third in defensive rating with Joel Embiid on the floor and 17th with him off. It is a night and day difference what he does defensively, and I tweeted this, and I've been wondering this. Joel Embiid should be on Defensive Player of the Year ladders lists every single season. He should be on Defensive Player of the Year lists every single season. Why we got Rudy Gobert up there? Show me a clip of Rudy Gobert guarding a point guard on the perimeter. Show me a clip of Nikola Jokic guarding a point guard on the perimeter. The way this guy moves for his size is unreal. It's not even normal. It's not supposed to happen. He's not human. He's not human. If you watched a person as big as Joel Embiid walk into a room, you would think he was a different species. He's a gigantic person. And for him to be out there on the perimeter sticking these guys is crazy. His defensive impact it can't be stated enough. The entire game changes. The entire series has shifted simply because of the presence of Joel Embiid. And it looks like he got his shot back a little bit in this game. And man, when he's making a jumper and he's doing his thing, man, he's really, 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 really hard to stop. Now, outside of Joel Embiid joining the team with a broken face and a torn ligament in his thumb and completely changing the game in the series because of his presence alone, the key to this game, outside of Joel Embiid, of course, was James Harden. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally got a James Harden game. We finally got a little something in here, man. It's not real good to have gas in your chest when you're doing a podcast. We finally got a James Harden game. James Harden finished the game with 31 points. And really the key to victory was the key to us holding on to the fourth quarter lead. We went up 12 in the fourth quarter behind James Harden, who had a couple of plays in a row, the tough drive to the basket, got to the free throw line, hit a step-back three. We're up 12. The Heat make another run, and Eric Spoelstra says, my strategy now is to completely take Joel Embiid out of the game and make James Harden beat us. And James Harden finally, for the first time since he's been a 76er, as far as Joel Embiid getting slowed down by a defense and needing to step up and needing to carry the load and needing to put this team on your back, James Harden, for the first time in a Sixers uniform, put this team on his back in the third and the fourth quarter. The second quarter he had 13 points. He put this team on his back in the fourth quarter. They were fronting Embiid. They were whatever that box in one zone they do, or 2-3, like pseudo new age. I don't even know what the zone is. They front Embiid, and it's even if you can get the ball to him, they swarm him right away. And then when he makes the skip pass, they're already there. The Miami Heat and Eric Spoelstra play great defense. They're not a top 2 defensive team in the league for no reason. So the Heat did a great job in the fourth quarter of completely getting the ball out of Joel Embiid's hands. It was hard for us to even get the ball to him, and James Harden answered the call. Step back three, step back three, step back three, drives to the lane, tough finishes. We got it. We got MVP level Harden in this game. And that's a great sign, because if we get this level of James Harden moving forward, we can compete with anybody that's left. Yes. Let me say that again. If we get this version of James Harden moving forward, with Joel Embiid already playing the MVP level of play that he plays, we can compete with any team that's left. Tobias Harris, again, I thought had a good game, played his role. Only 10 field goal attempts, shot 60% from the floor. Just a confident, quick trigger, fishing out mismatches, hitting tough mid-range fadeaways over Tyler Hero, whoever else was, trying to guard him on the switches. And like I said, Toronto was probably our toughest matchup of the playoffs because of the fact that every defender they have is 6'9" with a 7'5" wingspan. We play a team like the Miami Heat. We can fish out the mismatches. You can target Tyler Hero. Tobias Harris can target Max Strus and Tyler Hero. James Harden can run pick screens, and they're going to switch, and he can target Tyler Hero. That was a large part of our strategy. And, man, I'm just so happy that James Harden had his first 30-point game as a Sixer, and it couldn't have come at a bigger time. All of the James Harden haters, and you can call me a hater if you want to. I personally just feel like I call it like I see it. If James Harden, to me, has a game where he scores 13 points, is shooting a terrible percentage, and looks on my TV screen like a 56-year-old man at a playground, I'm just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these people. I'm not going to hold back what I say because I don't want to be wrong 3 games later. I say exactly what I think I just saw. I've seen James Harden play terribly in a Sixers uniform. I've seen him play good. I've seen him play terrible. Tonight, James Harden played great in a Sixers uniform. A lot of it, obviously, is the ball going in the hoop when he shoots that step-back three. His game changes when he's making the three-point shot. And making the three-point shot is all has to do with the legs. When you're talking about, maybe he still has a hamstring thing going on. He looked healthy in this game, and his shot was falling. Finished 8 for 18, 6 for 10 from 3, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, and a +8 from the field. Man, what a game for the Sixers, man. Danny Green started the game hot once again. This team is a different team when Danny Green is making shots, when George Niang is making shots. The team is different. Obviously, I talk all the time about our lack of perimeter creation, our lack of general athleticism. This team is good when they make shots and bad when they miss shots. They made shots in this game. The Miami Heat missed a million. And yeah, a bunch of wide open ones they missed. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo were the only players that showed up for the Miami Heat. A lot of that. We're not just going to say, well, the Heat just shot terribly, so we're going to brush this off and, that's why we won. That's not why we won. The Miami Heat shot terribly because we played great defense on the anchor of Joel Embiid. In my opinion, best defender in the league, most impactful defender in the league every damn season he's here. Jimmy Butler gave the Heat 40. If Jimmy Butler doesn't score 40 points, this is a blowout. Kyle Lowry was atrocious once again. He doesn't look healthy. He looks like he's in pain. He's grabbing his hamstring as he's jogging down the floor. I actually think Kyle Lowry hurt himself again by flopping. Which, if there was ever a time to cheer for an injury, if you hurt yourself trying to flop, woo! Kyle Lowry got a call on the perimeter where he went around the screen, stepped in front of the defender, jumped backwards, did his best Megan Thee Stallion impression, and twerked on the Sixers player and got a foul call. I mean, what are we really doing here? First of all, the NBA had announced several times that jumping backwards is not a defensive foul and is, in fact, an offensive foul. And you could see Doc Rivers screaming that's an offensive foul. I can't stand players that play like that. I've never been a fan of Kyle Lowry because of things like that. Just play ball. Joel Embiid, yeah, he sells calls. I'll give you that. He gets fouled and sells it. That's part of the game, in my opinion. But dribbling a basketball and jumping backwards? Nah, not going to get respect from Eastwood. That's all I got to say. Not that he cares. Not that he even knows who I am. I can't stand Kyle Lowry. I don't care if he's from Philly. I really don't. I don't like the dude. If he was on my team, I'd like him probably. That's just the way it is. Hey, what's up, man? Member for 4 months. Where's your mask at? Well, I was gonna get a mask, but they're kind of expensive because it's like an actual like protective a piece of sports equipment, and I'm just not gonna spend money on a protective mask. But I maybe I'll make one. I don't know yet. I've been very busy. Rasan, man, thanks for the support. Harden masterclass. Stop playing with number one. He's a monster. I don't want to hear no more Ben Simmons Harden comparisons. It's levels. He stepped up. I'll give him that. He had a great game. But when he's, still I'm not going to slander. I'm not going to slander the stuff from a week ago or 2 weeks ago when he's finishing a game with 11 points. Only has like 12 shot attempts, and you need him to step up, and he fails to. It is what it is. I knew people were going to come like that. Like, we never should have said anything bad about Harden. We talk trash when he looks like trash. We're going to give him his props when he looks great. We just have to hope that James Harden can continue to play like he played tonight. And you see him hit a big shot after big shot, and he's turning around, throwing up the threes. Crowd's going crazy. He's feeding off the Philly energy. I don't see James Harden going anywhere else because players love Philly. J.J. Redick said it the other night. He was only here for 2 seasons out of his, 15-year career, and those were his 2 favorite seasons of his career. Philly is different. Players love Philly for a reason. First of all, Miami Heat fans, we show up on time. And we show players love. And Philly fans know so much about games, too. Joel Embiid's out here guarding Victor Oladipo on the perimeter, sticking him, swatting the ball away. The crowd starts going crazy because they're watching a 7'2", 280-pound person play perimeter defense. What other fan base cheers for perimeter defense? We love the nitty-gritty. We love the hard work kind of plays. We love the blood, sweat, and tear kind of plays in Philly. Man, you guys are hitting me up like crazy, man. Let me get to all of them. Andy Walken, thanks for the support. Didn't watch the game. Always got my support. Embiid's the guys. I'm going to cry during his Hall of Fame induction. Been waiting for this Harden game. I believe in his IQ. He just needs to perform. Absolutely. Harden's one of the smartest basketball players I've ever seen. If you watch just the way that he works the game, his facilitating, the way he reads the floor, he's a genius on the court. Yeah, you just need him to perform, and you need him to make shots, and you need him to, find a balance of picking out your mismatches, driving, being strong, but doing it at the right times and playing the one-on-one games at the right times. I don't want to forget that there was a play in the fourth quarter where he just hit one of the biggest shots of his short Philadelphia 76ers career so far, where I think the Heat got it back down to 5, man, maybe 6, maybe 4. I was so nervous. I'm like, oh, my God, it's a 4-point game or it's a 6-point game, 4 minutes left, whatever it was. James dribbles out the whole shot clock. I'm getting pissed off. I'm screaming, I literally said, you're wasting too much time, James. And Bam Adebayo flies out to the 3-point line. Then he hits a step-back 3 in Bam's face. It was one of those, no, yeah! I knew you would do it, James. I was just joking. Dom says Morey for the win. Hey, listen, man, we'll see. This was a great game from James Harden. We have to hope that he can keep this up, man. That's what we have to hope. We have to hope that he can keep this up, especially down in Miami. Look, man, Philly is different. Jimmy, thanks for the support, man. He says, James Harden made my James hard tonight. We didn't need that, bro. We didn't need that. But it's 2022, man. You can feel however you want to feel. Jimmy's a good friend of mine. Higher Money, thanks for the support. Great win. Great W. Heat fans think we're the Hawks. Stay crying. Yeah, the Heat trolls are gone, man. And that's the thing about trolls. They don't last very long. Their team wins, they're in here heavy. Their team loses, they disappear. Tyler, what's up, man? All right, what are we at, man? I've been up here for 25 minutes. I'll take some Discord calls, man. Who's hanging out in the Discord? If you want to join the show, the link is at the top of the chat. We're going to start with my guy, Lynx Africa here, and we're going to go a little bit rapid fire, man. I'm going to cut y'all guys off at about 3 minutes and move on to the next caller, just so we could try to get to everyone and keep the show under a certain time. So keep that in mind when you're calling in, you know what I mean? Try not to ramble and start talking about random stories and things like that. Lynx Africa, man, what is going on, sir?
Hey, DJ.
What's up, my man?
How you going, brother? I'm good, I'm guessing.
Yeah, man, I am elated.
I'm happy days, man. And if we go to Miami this next game and win, I'm going to be losing my shit.
Man, if we can win one down in Miami, bro, oh my goodness. And look, if we hadn't beat this whole series, we might have stole one. We probably would have stole one in Miami.
No, 3-1, let's be honest.
Yeah,
like the presence is too much now. And I know Bam got 21 points, but those 21 points weren't on Embiid. Not a majority of them.
No,
That's when you had Harris and stuff. But
yeah, they were, yeah. I forgot. Thanks for bringing that up. I forgot to mention that. Really, when Paul Reed was in for Embiid, he wasn't even going at Paul Reed. They were running screens to get switches to get him on Tobias, and he was scoring on Tobias.
yeah, exactly.
Tobias is trying, but he can't do much.
No, just two things from me, brother. The first thing is Embiid in the first quarter gave me hints of that MVP 100% Embiid. And it was, I felt a bit scared for the Heat. Because that fadeaway too that he did, I was like, oh no. Oh, yeah. Shit's happening now.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. He was looking off double teams too, man. Like, they double, he'd like fake a pass, spin around, and go back at, like, he was just a magician on the court.
That was nice, yeah. And in the fourth, well, my second point, in the fourth quarter, we kind of got that hint of this is the duo we wanted when we traded for Harden. That very final possession before he hit that three, which I thought he got fouled on. They seemed confused because they were like, "Wait, we've taken Embiid, we've doubled him. What are we doing?" Yeah. And I was so happy at that point because they have something to deal with when we go back to Miami.
Yeah, man. They do. Let's go, man. Let's hope he keeps it up, man. Thanks for calling, my man, as always.
Thank you. Have a good one, DJ.
Yeah, man. This is the Harden that we wanted when we traded when we made that Ben trade. And look, man, like, we traded Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, man. Like, people, you lost the trade. Even if Harden doesn't even pan out, we didn't lose the trade. We had a player that was refusing to play. Jorgie says, can only imagine us with Butler instead of Harris. Yeah, but none of this happens. Everything kind of happens and makes other things happen. Like, if Butler never left, I don't know if we get in the James Harden situation. I don't know if the Ben thing happens. I don't know what would happen, man. It's hindsight, man. We're living in the present right now. And there's nothing negative to say about Tobias Harris. He's playing his ass off. He's playing his role perfectly, man. No Toby slander, absolutely. No Toby slander, man. He's not a $180 million player. We know that. But, man, he's playing this role perfectly. I don't think he'll be here next year, but as far as right now, man, gotta love Tobias Harris, man. DeGod, man. DeGod in the Discord, bro. What's up? Yo. What's up, man?
What's good? This is what we're talking about, Philly. This is what we came for. Miami, this is why you don't talk trash to us. This is why you just be quiet in the series. This is why Joel Embiid had to play. We're seeing James Harden come up and step up, and this is what we've been waiting for. We saw Joel 15 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Come on now. 15 points in the first quarter. And in the fourth, we see Maxey involvement. There's one part where Joel wanted the ball, and Maxey did not give it to him. He's like, hold on. And he throws the alley-hoop for Tobias Harris, which is him evolving. This is what we want.
Yeah.
Philly, this is the time for us to talk our trash. This is the time for us to celebrate. Miami, I personally think that we got to get the sweep out soon. We do got to get one in Miami, but I don't think they have an answer for Joel. And I think as long as they don't have an answer for Joel, you got to worry, does Maxey go off? And hopefully, like you said, James continues to do what he just did tonight, makes it a different series here.
Yeah, man, I agree.
You got to stand up.
I think they're finding a balance, of Joel, Harden, Maxey, and Maxey's finding a balance of when to be aggressive, when to be selfish with the ball, and when to just, give the ball to Embiid. So I think they're finding a nice balance for sure. And that play that you talked about, that was massive because Joel gets a massive offensive rebound, which we got lit up on the boards for 2 games when he was out with the face injury. He comes back, he's getting offensive rebounds like that, kicks it out to Maxey, and they're fronting Embiid again, and Harris cuts back door, and that's just a perfect play, man.
Correct. This is what we've been wanting for. Even if James doesn't pan out the way we need him to pan out to, he has evolved Maxey the way we needed him to jump. This is what we wanted.
Yep, I think every game that Maxey, like when he looks a little timid or whatever, Harden gets in his ear and gets him rolling.
Agree. And let's give Glenn his shout out. He coached decent tonight. Let's give Glenn a shout out. He finally coached decent. I wasn't screaming at the TV as much as I normally am with him. Tonight was a good night for an overall as a 76er fan, man. Tonight we did great.
Yeah, I got to give it to him. We were saying, like, what does Joel Embiid being out have to do with, like, all of a sudden Korkmaz is in the game, all of a sudden you got lineups of Niang, Korkmaz, and Matisse Thybulle, and we're like, what is going on here? So I think when Embiid's out, Doc has no plan B, and he doesn't know what to do, and he just does a bunch of random things. But either way, we don't stand a chance without Joel anyway. So when Joel's in the game, at least, you know, I liked what Doc did tonight for the most part. I didn't see anything that I wanted to slander him about. I like that he played Shake Milton. Shake Milton gets his minutes back after he got ghosted for some reason. So
agree. No, nobody understand the ghost. I think there was a play where Niang was kind of just shooting crazy. He got him out and put Danny Green in. I was like, finally, Doc. Finally, when somebody's messing up, you get him out, and you give him a break to think about it, and then, you know, you throw him back in when it's time to throw him back in. Tonight was a good night. It was a great night.
Absolutely, bro. Thanks for calling in.
Appreciate you, man.
Shout out to the god of Podcast 88 in the Discord. What a win, man. What a win for the Philadelphia 76ers. Man, Joel, this is like, I couldn't imagine this actually coming true, that we go down 0-2, and what if Joel comes back with the mask on and we tie this series? And, man, I thought we had to steal one of Miami and then get Embiid to come back. We went down 0-2 and tied the series. Let's go, man. Danny Hilt, my man, in the Discord. Danny, what's up, man? What's up?
Man, today was a good night. Harden, you know, played like the Harden we all needed him to be. They were like tripling Joel in the fourth quarter, and Maxey was playing good in the fourth quarter. Tobias was playing good, and Harden did what he came here to do.
Yeah, man, I really think the Heat are out of options when they throw the kitchen sink at Embiid and other players step up and make them pay. And then there was times where it looked like they started trying to double James Harden. I was screaming at one play because there was 3 Heat players almost at half court. I'm like, somebody cut. There's 3 players at half court, man. They didn't know what to do. Do we double Harden? Do we double Embiid? They couldn't stop it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when Maxey threw that lob, I got so hyped. I'm like, that was a great cut by Tobias, and Maxey threw a perfect pass, and man, I just got so hyped. I mean, if I'm Philly, we gotta win Game 5 because you do not want them to go up 3-2. You will probably win Game 6, and you don't want to go to Game 7 in a do or die game in Miami.
Yeah, man. No, you don't want to go to Game 7. No, you don't.
Yeah.
And if they can win one in Miami, man. If they can win one in Miami, we're good, man.
Yeah, we gotta win. One last thing. One thing I hated, I think it evened out toward the end, but man, in the first quarter, it felt like Miami was getting everything. I mean, when was the last time Victor Oladipo shot 10 free throws in a game?
He shot how many?
He shot 10 free throws.
Yeah, I mean, he was being aggressive. I don't think they were getting.
I mean, there was a lot of missed walks, like Jimmy walked a lot. I mean, it evened out toward the end, like especially in the third quarter when it felt like every possession was a free throw for both teams. So.
Yeah, man, I agree, bro. Thanks for calling in, man, and calling
Have a good
again
night.
after the game in Miami, man. Shout out to Danny Hilt in the Discord. There were a lot of travels that weren't called, but look, man, like people were talking about Scott Foster's coaching or officiating this game, and we're screwed and we're gonna lose, and like I got to shout out to Scott Foster. I didn't see anything that looked too crazy to me, like, oh my God, they're calling this one way or they're calling this this side or that side. Like a lot of missed calls on both ends. I don't think officiating is a very easy thing to do, and I don't think they're very good at it either. But we got a lot of generous calls also. Harden misses a layup and like 17 seconds left, they call a foul. And like there was a lot of calls that went in our favor. I'm going to sit here and admit that. And there was a lot of calls on the other end that I think went in the Miami Heat favor. I don't really think this was like an uneven anything. So, I guess Scott Foster didn't have money on the spread or whatever. So his officiating didn't really affect the game. Shout out to Danny Hilton Discord, man. Oh, who else is hanging out in the Discord? Disruptive. Disruptive is in the Discord. What's up, man?
It's a little different when the best player's playing, huh?
Absolutely.
A little bit different, huh?
A little different, man.
I was the guy at the game in Philly 2 days ago that was sending you a message on Twitter of
what's
the
up,
introductions
man?
and shit.
Yeah, man. What's up, man? Thanks for. Were you at this game?
Huh?
Were you at this game?
I fucking wish. I spent my weekly Sixers ticket on that game.
I feel you.
But dude, the energy that Joel brings from just not even his offense or his defense, but just him being there is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It is like the whole team, role players step up. I mean, everybody just plays better. I mean, and then with Tobias, when I was at that game and he fouled out, when he's walking to the bench, everybody stood up and gave him a standing ovation.
Yep.
Like, I think Philly's one of the most hated on fan bases, but like you don't see that, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, Philly's hated on for people don't understand what's going on here. The athletes understand.
And
there's so many players that come back here and
the
retire
athletes
because
understand.
they love Philly. Yeah.
100%. And it's like it goes back to like, hey, it's easy to shit to score an 83-year-old DeAndre Jordan, but you know, when you have an MVP and Joel Embiid down the paint, it's a little bit different.
That's why people came at me when I was looking at the stat sheet of game 2, and I was like, Bam only had 22 and 9 on DeAndre Jordan. Somebody's like, oh, 22 and 9 is a bad stat line. I'm like, yes, against DeAndre Jordan, yes.
Yeah, and then Jimmy has to have like a 35-point plus game every game to keep the Heat in it. Like, or Tyler Hero has to catch heat.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just think, you know, being down 0-2, Embiid says, fuck all that noise, and he comes back with literally a broken face, fucking a torn ligament in his shooting hand. Like, it's just fucking crazy. And then one of the last points I want to make, we actually grew a fucking lead with Embiid on the bench rather than blew a lead.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
That is what stood out to me more than anything in the game.
Well, I mean, part of it's because it's Paul Reed now. It's a guy that can play defense. You know, it's not like the fact that he didn't play the whole season is still hilarious to me. He's obviously the best backup on the team. Dude,
it was when I was sitting behind the bench at that game and Paul Reed was taking off his shirt to get in. I looked around the whole section and I'm standing up yelling, "Holy shit, Paul Reed's getting minutes!" And everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And I was basically just saying, Charles Bass, you should be next. Like,
he should be. Hopefully next season we see a lot of Charles Bassey, man, because I think he has a lot of talent.
Yeah. So one of the stats that I saw said that Philly in the first 2 games shot 14 for 64 from the 3-point line, and the last 2 games the Heat have shot 14 for 65 in the past 2 games. So
Yep.
It's,
it all has to do with Joel.
All right, I'm gonna get out here.
Appreciate you, man.
Let other people get on here.
All right, man.
Good talking to you, man.
All right, man. Later. Disruptive in the Discord, being a little bit disruptive to my YouTube monetization. Nah, I'm just kidding. They don't touch me when we're this far into a show. But you know, anybody that calls in, just try to control your F-bombs a little bit. But thank you for calling in, man. Chuck Nose hanging out in the Discord, and then we'll get to VRE, man. What's up, Chuck Nose?
Yeah, I give you guys some props, man. Like, I think I told you before, if I remember, but I'm a Heat fan. But I just have to give you guys some props, man. Y'all played an excellent game today. And in game 3, y'all got the lights out again in game 3, dude. Like,
what happened?
Danny Green.
Are you talking on a phone right now?
Can you hear me?
It just sounds like you're in a hallway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just move my mic closer. Can you hear me now? Is it good?
Yeah, that's fine. What's up?
Yeah, I just have to give you guys some props, man. Like, y'all shot really good again. And I said before that when you guys shoot well, like, y'all look really good because everything opened up for you guys. And I even said, I think game 2, when Joel Embiid is in the game and you guys are not making open threes, it really, the offense just doesn't look as good. But when y'all hit the threes, it just really looks good. So I just have to give you guys props as a Heat fan, man.
What do you think from your perspective? From your perspective, what do you think is going wrong with the Miami Heat in the last 2 games?
It's kind of the same thing that's been happening with you guys in the first 2 games, where it's just like we can't make shit. And I'm sorry for cursing, but it's like we really can't make anything, dude. It's like Bruce felt like I don't think he hit a single three in game 3, and like Tyler Hero went like 4 for 15, and it was just not. It was just not pretty to watch offensively, and Jimmy's like the only person doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a role reversal a little bit, but I just have to give you guys props on that one, man.
No, I don't think you're wrong about that. I was even saying during the game, man, they are missing a lot of wide open shots. Like Gabe Vincent's a guy that kills us sometimes off the bench in the regular season, and he was even huge in a couple of these playoff games so far, and he was chucking bricks off the bench, 0 for 4 from 3, 1 for 6. Kyle Lowry's been absolutely terrible since he came back. I don't think he's healthy. Yeah, man. I don't know. The Heat definitely struggled to shoot the ball tonight.
Yeah, and usually that's not the case. Hopefully it changes in game 6, or was this game 5? I can't do math. I'm just tired of brush aid. But yeah, man, props to y'all.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Yep.
Chuck Nose, man, Miami Heat fan, calling from under his blanket because he's hiding. No, I'm kidding. Thanks for calling in. VR Heat, man, what's up?
Yo, DJ.
What's going on, man? Hey, listen to that audio, man. That is crispy. Thank you for
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Go ahead. What's
No
up?
problem. I just wanted to say a little bit about our defense, and I just wanted to talk about. I do think we give them a lot of open shots, too many or more than what I would like. But I will say our defense, like compared to the first 2 games and these last 2 games on the guards, has been so perfect. I like how we play Tyler Hero, because Tyler Hero, in my opinion, is really the difference between them like winning these games and losing it. Because Tyler Hero can get hot and just become unguardable. But I like how well James Harden and Maxey are playing like our guards, and how they're switching really well and how we're rotating. And I also want to give props to our coaches for like calling the right defensive schemes at the right times. Because a lot of the times we will zone up, and then because they're not hitting shots and because we're rotating so well, like they just can't do anything, and they have to rely on Jimmy Butler getting a tough bucket in the lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Our defense was amazing in this game, and the last game, and it's really, it's the schemes and it's adding Joel Embiid and it's all of that combined, and they say defense wins championships. If we held them to what in the last game, like 79 points. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, that, and one more point. I just wanted to talk a little bit about our shooting. Our shooting, like, we already know this. Like when we shoot, like we're literally the greatest team of all time, in my opinion. Like like the best team of all time. I swear. Like when we shoot, because it opens the floor so much. Because not only do you have to guard, you have to double Embiid, which leaves a guy open. But then when everybody's on shooting, we rotate the ball so well that somebody is going to have an open shot to make. And I'm just so happy that George Niang is starting to get his shot back a little bit. Yep. And Danny Green, I don't know where this has been all season, but he's the greatest shooter of all time now. So I'm just very happy about that.
Yeah, thanks, VRE, man. Appreciate it as always.
No problem.
Yeah, Danny Green has been lights out. And whatever I say about the guy throughout the whole season, or whether I enjoy him as a person or not, or if I think he's a cornball and nobody really wants to listen to a Danny Green podcast or anything like that, if he's making shots, I'm a fan. The fans in Philly aren't big fans of Danny Green because he had that comment last year about the fans need to be nicer to Ben Simmons, and we were like, boo, that's the softest thing you could have ever said. Danny Green is not very well liked in Philly, but if you're making shots, we love you. So just keep making shots. All right, you're out here pump faking, sidestepping threes. I mean, listen, I don't know. Danny Green has been lights out for 2 straight games now, and this game is different when the role players like Danny Green and George Niang are knocking down wide open threes, man. This team is different. KG, thanks for the support. Still pretty sad about that Kyle tweet. What's the Kyle tweet we're talking about? What are you sad about? I don't know what you're referencing. Is it a Kyle Lowry tweet? I don't know what you're referencing. But yeah, man, the Sixers, man, come back on the back of Joel Embiid wearing a mask with a torn ligament in his thumb and tie the series 2-2. I didn't think it was possible, man. Let's just go through my notes that I took during the game real quick. I'll chop through that, chop it up with you guys a little bit, man. And then I'm going to get up out of here because, honestly, it's Sunday. My weekends are insane. I'm incredibly tired. I drank a Monster and a coffee just to come up here and do this show because I'm here for the people. Look, Embiid scores the first 6 points of the game. I'm like, that's it. Joel Embiid's locked in. I literally tweeted, Joel Embiid's locked in. I'll see you game 5. First 3 minutes of the game, I said, Joel Embiid's locked in. I'll see you guys game 5. I knew the Miami Heat are not beating us when Joel Embiid's playing at an MVP level like he played tonight. They're not beating us. He had 13 points in the first quarter. James Harden doing his thing, man. And James Harden entry passes to Embiid were huge. I'm glad I wrote that down because when their strategy is to play this zone and front Embiid, but James Harden is so damn good at passing the ball that he just drops the ball right over top of that front to Embiid right under the basket. Now you gotta have a plan B. You gotta bring a guy from the weak side behind him, and then we got wide open shooters in the corner. So James Harden just being an elite facilitator. And really, the entry pass is a skill that Joel Embiid hasn't had a point guard possess his entire career so far. He has a guy that can drop the ball into the paint just in the perfect spot. And James just stands up there and just drops it right over top of the defense. And it's like, what else you got? You're going to front him? I'm going to drop the ball right over the top. So, you know what I mean? It's just a great way to counter what they were trying to do. Joel Embiid's playing ridiculous defense. Matisse Thybulle hit a 3 in the first quarter. You know it's our night when Matisse Thybulle is making a basketball shot. So shout out to that. And he played good defense. I didn't see many annoying jumps or jump fouling guys on jump shots or anything like that. The Heat got to a point in the first quarter and in the third quarter where they were playing this small ball lineup and they had to switch everything and we would just fish out the mismatch. There was times where Gabe Vincent was stuck guarding Joel Embiid, bro. You're not going to do anything with that. How are you going to do anything with Gabe Vincent trying to guard Joel Embiid? So, of course, he has to foul him. So, Joel gets to the foul line every single time. Gabe Vincent ends up on him because of what he's supposed to do. The Heat were doing the same thing to us when they were running screens to try to get Bam on Toby in the second quarter, and he was scoring at will. I think Tobias has been playing great defense in this entire playoffs so far for his standards, but, you know, he can't really stop Bam Adebayo, so most of his points came on Tobias on those mismatches. Danny Green was just feeling it. He dribbles down the floor. Like, I couldn't believe my eyes. Danny Green, I got to respect the confidence. I have to respect the confidence. This dude dribbles down the court and pulls a 3 like he's Carmelo Anthony in his prime and gets fouled. just ridiculous from Danny Green. And, man, when he's doing stuff like that, it's just, man, this team's going to be hard to stop if we can keep these things up. James Harden makes the run in the second quarter. He scored 13 in the second quarter, just dropping dimes. Tobias backdoor cuts, some strong finishes, a step-back 3, screaming. Fans are behind him. Just, man, James Harden was electric in this game in the biggest moments, in the right times, and it was so much fun to watch. The third quarter is where Kyle Lowry did the little Megan Thee Stallion impression and twerked on a Sixers player and got a foul call. I don't know how. Dribbling in front of somebody, jumping backwards is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and the refs gave it to him. It was annoying. Kyle Floppery, or whatever else you want to call him. Could never stand the guy. You know, it didn't work, and I actually think he hurt himself on a flop in the fourth quarter, so that's funny to me. The Heat went on a little run with that small ball defense. Joel Embiid blocked Markieff Morris to the moon and back. That was funny. By the way, shout out to Morris, and I don't know if I got the name wrong, Marcus or Markieff. I think they're twins. I don't know which one is which. They look exactly the same. But the dude that got whiplash from Nikola Jokic checking him in the back earlier in the season, missed the whole NBA season. I think this was his first game back since that, so shout out to him for fighting and going through that whole recovery and coming back. Let me know if I'm wrong. Actually, I don't care if I'm wrong, but let me know anyway. But he, hasn't played basketball for a long time and tried to hit a little turnaround jump shot on Joel Embiid, and Joel smacked it into the second row or smacked it to half court. Embiid's defense was on a different level in this game, and I think maybe he's been telling himself that, towards the end of the season, Joel had a lot of games where he's taking plays off, he's coasting, and we're trying not to freak out towards the end of the season. I'm telling myself, and you guys are saying also, listen, we're just going through the motions at the end of the season. We're not even really trying out here. So let's not freak out about some of these games or some of these blown leads. The playoffs are here. We got Joel back, and there's no slacking off in Joel's game at this point, man. He is locked in from the start of the game to the finish of the game. His defense was some of the best defense from a center in the NBA. He should be Defensive Player of the Year every season that he's alive. I don't care what you say about it. Glenn Rivers, thanks for the support. Thanks for being here for the people. Now keep Harden out of the clubs. Maybe that was it, man. Maybe that was it. You went down to Miami. We said it before the series. My biggest concern is James Harden going to Miami. And he didn't look very good in game 1 and 2. He didn't step up. He didn't lead the charge. He didn't put the team on his back like you need from a $250 million player, whatever it is. But, came back to Philly. Strip clubs aren't as desirable out here. He just went to bed at 8 o'clock. He didn't mess around going down to Delilah's or anything because it's not worth it. So he got some rest, came back in game 4, and played like MVP Harden. So shout out to Harden for staying out of the clubs. I agree, Glenn. That was a weird rant that I just had about James Harden and the strip clubs. Fourth quarter, James Harden leads the run. The Sixers are up by 12. The Heat make a little run. They start to ramp up their defense. Tobias Harris gets called for an offensive foul for just posting up, which I hate. I don't understand the call. Tobias comes down the other end. Bam Adebayo punches him in the throat. That's not an offensive foul. We get offensive fouls for posting up. You're allowed to punch guys in the throat. Whatever. We move on. Tobias laying on the ground. He got hit in the Adam's apple. Probably hurt like hell. Probably felt like he was choking for 5 minutes. But Tobias, he's been tough in this series, man. He's been resilient this whole playoff series, man. I love the way Tobias Harris is playing. I love his confidence. Keep it up, Toby. All right. Harden hits a huge step back 3. Embiid gets a massive offensive rebound on one of those final possessions, kicks it out to Maxey. Maxey throws the oop to Tobias. I mean, just beautiful basketball all around. I loved everything about this game. Shout out to everybody still in the chat. 580 in here. Hit the like button for your boy. And listen, man, I am exhausted. Thank you all for being here. The Sixers come back. Joel Embiid with the mask on returns, saves the day. The Sixers tie the damn series 2-2. We can win this series. The Philadelphia 76ers can win this series and go to the Eastern Conference Finals. It can happen. Why do I keep getting this porn spam in here, man? That's all I got, man. Thank you guys for being here. Hit the like button on your way out. I'll see you after Game 5. Peace.